Eating healthy is not just about food. Our mind also plays a really important part. In this video, I want to talk about mindset shifts that have helped me in my journey to eating healthier. These are changes in the way that I used to think that have ultimately led me to make this a lifestyle. The first mindset shift I want to talk about is that eating healthy is different for everyone. This is something I'm reminded of all the time. Just because a diet or a certain way of eating worked for one person doesn't mean it's necessarily going to work for me. We are all different, we are unique. And because of that, eating healthy will look different from one person to another. I remember in the beginning of my health journey, I was very confused as to what exactly healthy eating was. One day I would learn about all the reasons why I should omit this certain group of foods from my diet. And then the next day I'd learn about all the reasons why I should be eating these foods. It becomes very confusing, especially when there's science that can back up both arguments. So what I've learned is that there are no absolute truths. We all have different health goals and different lifestyles, so rather than focusing on what diet is best, I keep my focus on eating whole foods and minimizing processed food as much as possible. I think the best advice I've ever received and the best advice I can give is to listen to your body and find what foods make you feel best. When I first started on my health journey, I remember I wanted to make all the changes at once. But this can be overwhelming and it's harder to stay motivated this way. So what I learned over time is that small changes make a big difference. Focusing on the small things I could improve on is what ultimately led me to where I am today. So instead of completely changing the way that I was eating, I slowly started to introduce healthier foods into my diet. I would continue to eat my normal meals, but I would try to sneak in some spinach or romaine lettuce here and there, or I'd set a small goal like eating at least one serving of fruit per day. So instead of taking long strides, I was taking baby steps. I also remember a very specific day. It was a Saturday night, and my family had planned to order pizza. Now, at this point, I was very committed to making healthier food choices, but that pizza also sounded really good. So I remember that I had made a lentil soup, and I first had a bowl of that, and then I had a slice of pizza. Now, these moments might seem very insignificant, like they're not gonna make that much of a difference, right? But the truth is, behind those choices, you are training your taste buds and you're training your mind to eat healthier. And these seemingly small decisions begin to add up. And then one day, before you know it, you'll look back and you'll realize that this has become your lifestyle without you even knowing. A question I would ask myself a lot in the beginning was, what's a healthier option? Instead of taking things away from my diet, I simply looked for healthier alternatives to what I was eating already. So let me give you a few examples. For those of you that don't know, I'm Mexican, and a common side dish for many Mexican recipes is rice. Now, this traditional rice is very delicious, but it's not the healthiest. So I asked myself the question, what's a healthier option? And that's when I introduced brown rice into my diet. So every time a meal called for a Mexican rice, I made brown rice. I'm also a chocolate lover. So when I was younger, you would find me eating M&Ms, Reese's, Snickers, Kit Kats, all of the chocolates. But once I started on my health journey, I had to ask myself the question, what's a healthier option? Well, in that moment, dark chocolate was a healthier option. And then once your taste buds get used to this new choice, you ask yourself the question again. Asking myself this question over and over is what took me from eating M&Ms all the time to now being able to enjoy raw cacao, which is a much more pure form of chocolate. So having this mentality and asking myself this specific question really helped make this transition much easier. I didn't feel like I was depriving myself of anything because I was still enjoying the same thing, just a healthier alternative. And if you're looking for ways to change your behavior, change your habits, I have a class recommendation on Skillshare, who is the sponsor of today's video. Skillshare is an online learning platform that offers thousands of classes for lifelong learners. You can choose from topics like lifestyle, creativity, business, photography, and many more. A class I think you'll find very helpful is called Designing the Life You Want: 4 Exercises for Clarity and Motivation by Michelle B. I really liked the anti-vision exercise where you basically write out the version of your life you don't want to happen. So you write out the things that would make you extremely unhappy if they actually came to life. So in terms of health, you might write about how unhealthy, how overweight, or sluggish you feel. And this exercise can be very powerful because seeing these not so great things written down on paper will motivate you to take action so you make sure those things don't come true. An annual subscription to Skillshare is less than $10 a month. So if you're interested, the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of premium membership. The fourth mindset I have found very helpful is it's what you do most of the time. It can be very easy to fall into the trap of wanting to be perfect and then judging yourself when you don't meet those high standards you set for yourself. I have been there plenty of times. So in those moments, I have to remind myself that this is a lifestyle, and in order for it to be sustainable, I have to be realistic. Healthy eating is not about depriving yourself. It's about becoming aware of what you're eating and focusing on what you're doing most of the time. If most of the time you're having real, whole foods, then having some ice cream or a night of pizza or sushi or whatever it is that you like to eat is not going to derail your health progress. So give yourself permission to enjoy life. Or maybe you've had a really rough week and you've had to order takeout several days in a row because of that. But most of the month you've been making nutritious, home-cooked meals. Then in those moments, be kind to yourself and have compassion. Beating yourself up is never helpful. Life happens. And as long as you get back on track, you're always going to be moving in the right direction. So I hope you find these mindset shifts helpful. They've definitely made a big difference in my health journey, so I hope they do the same for you. And if you're looking for more ways to improve your health, I have a playlist on the topic of healthy living that I will have linked here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.